figure out if I wanted to do a Simpsons reference or a Waterboy reference for the intro of this video. So I did both.
You got me water.
I just do normal.
I don't want a water from you. I'd rather from Sam.
Wait, just wait. Water. I'll take a water. Yeah.
Sorry, Nerval, that's me.
Come on, boys!
Thanks, Nerval.
Could you give me a handful of
Water, Nerval.
Oh, sure.
not those,
Water.
the ones at the bottom?
Oh, okay.
Now that's what I call high quality H2O.
Has anyone talked about how Sandler's movies from like the 90s and the early aughts were quietly making fun of individuals with intellectual disabilities? This probably isn't the place to bring that up. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers. Buckle yourselves in. This was a wild one. Let's talk about it.
Gadjevich is you strong man, and Corey Barrett.
This wasn't the game that I was expecting. The first two games were so good. They played their own games. The Oilers had a dominant first game. The Panthers squeaked by in the second game with a little bit of help from the referees. But this game, it was like they both put on their skates on the wrong feet or something like that. Started off messy as heck. They couldn't put things together, neither one of them. But Panthers got the momentum in the first period and they just went with it. While the Oilers, they got frustrated. So I think that this game was really about composure. And the Edmonton Oilers failed miserably. Also, while some players played well, other players played abysmally. It really says something when Draisaitl did not even get one shot on goal. So let's recap this game. Before that, we do that though, can you hit that subscribe button? If you're not already subscribed, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. We're going to keep it going all summer long. There's going to be all sorts of news, draft, trades, re-signs, contract extensions. We're going to talk about prospect pools. We're going to talk about camp. We're going to talk about preseason, and then we're into the season. I can't wait because I'm, loving the intensity of playoff hockey, but I miss my Canadians, man. So they start things off just so emblematic of how the rest of this game proceeds. DJ Khaled opens this thing up.
If you here for the Oilers!
They could not have found a more suiting individual to start this game. He forgets the names of the teams. He's got a bunch of like cue cards written on his turntables. But dude is so funny, man. The game starts, puck drops, and they're both looking sloppy. It's a pig slop game. Oilers look sleepy. Florida, they're not playing their game, taking penalties. Actually, you know what? Right off the bat, let me tell you how many penalties each team took. Florida took 15 penalties, 4 in the first period alone. That's when things didn't, get out of control completely. Edmonton, 21 penalties. Like I said, one team kept their composure. The other team didn't even try. So the Oilers are looking all out of sorts, and Florida capitalizes on that. Watch how bad the defensive coverage is on this play.
Here's Lundell off the face-off, in behind the net, trying to throw it in front. Took it for the Marchand, scores!
Yeah, you guessed it. Brad Marchand, 1-0 for Florida. Edmonton just completely looked lost. And the next goal looks really similar. You see Bobrovsky diving. It's just completely embellishing a goaltender interference call that he did not have to embellish. And now we see Verhaeghe put Florida 2 goals ahead.
The slot, Rodriguez, Verhaeghe scores!
Complete defensive breakdown here again by the Oilers. 3 Oilers just all together holding hands. We head to the second period. Oilers are on a power play. Perry is going to make it 2-1. Kind of a lucky goal here by Edmonton because Jones moves off of Perry, who he was covering, and he moves off of him at the worst time because the puck makes it to Perry. He's got a bunch of time to put it where he wants. So now Edmonton has a little bit of momentum. Hopefully you build off of that, but no, that doesn't happen.
Klingberg, he runs into the official. It comes loose and a chance.
Reinhart makes it 3-1. This one is unfortunate. If you thought that the Panthers were already getting help by the officials, this isn't gonna calm those theories. Sharon gets in the way of Klingberg, which forces a turnover. The Puck is in a dangerous spot. Florida senses it. They pounce on it. The Cats pounce. Puck gets put in front of the net. Skinner, I think he probably could have had this one, honestly. It would have been a nice one to get the glove on. But I mean, it was an awful turnover in a terrible spot. 3-1 Florida. Before the end of the second period, Bennett is going to make it 4-1.
Look down at the line. Held in, but now a break. Whiskeylung bumps it ahead. Sam Bennett.
Again, off of a terrible, terrible turnover. Pod Colson, atrocious. Bush League. And then Skinner commits way too early. Bennett's given a gift here. Lots of missed penalties this game, in addition to the numerous penalties they did call. There's ones, though, that you think should be called every time. Klinger gets hit up high. No call on this one. Thought that was a little strange. But maybe the referees' heads are all a mess. This is a hard game to contain. You see Lundell diving. You got to watch out for that, because you can't be known for a team that has the reputation of diving and also being dirty. But we haven't seen any dirt yet. That comes out soon. We head into the third period.
Pass for Reinhart.
Ekblad is going to make it 5-1. Another defensive breakdown. Kulak and McDavid are both watching the same guy. Ekblad is free to move wherever he wants. Kulak, even if he had just stayed in front of the net, could have helped a little bit more. But 5 goals, finding the way behind Skinner. That's going to do it for Skinner. This is looking like one of those games you just kind of want to get out of the way, like last year when the Oilers beat Florida, 8-1 in the finals. But as things typically do when stakes are this high, the blood, it gets a little bad. Time for a line brawl. Well, pretty much a line brawl. Frederick doesn't like how Bennett is selling his cross checks. So the official holds Frederick down, and as he does that, miraculously, Bennett decides he isn't hurt after all, and he starts pounding Frederick. Nurse and Gadovich are bigger boys that are throwing. They both end up bloody. We get this great shot of Gadovich. Now with the benches basically empty, Rodriguez is going to make it 6-1.
2 minutes for cross-checking and attended at misconduct. Time of the penalties, 15:47 of the third period.
I think this was a 2-man advantage. You can't fault Pickard for this. So I think this was like the second 2-man advantage in a row. Game is completely off the rails at this point. The game ends. Perry still wants to get some licks in, but the officials hold him back so the Florida players can yank on him. A terrible game by both teams, really, but Edmonton, I mean, fell apart completely. Just not an entertaining game to watch. You could really tell that both teams were not playing their best hockey, but you can't let that happen. This is the Stanley Cup Finals. Florida is now ahead 2-1 in the series. Just 2 more games for Florida. So if Edmonton really wants it, they're going to have to find a win on Thursday. Just a sec, I forgot. Yeah, I don't know why we have to wait till Thursday, but we have to wait till Thursday. I figure whoever wins the next game, they're going to take it all. So what did you think of this game? Were you entertained? If you're a Florida fan, you were probably pretty entertained. Just boggles my mind how different this game was than the first 2, where the teams were playing, the style of hockey they like to play. That's going to do it for me, though, guys. It's getting late here, as usual. Had to bring you a video for this. I really appreciate all your support. The last couple of videos, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your comments. I noted that we have amassed over 3,500 days worth of watch time on this channel. And that's since I started last September. So just, it's incredible numbers. I never thought we would accomplish something like that. I still remember those first few months when I saw, oh my gosh, I got 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. And now here we are, very close to 15,000 subscribers. And that's big for a hockey channel. Hockey, hasn't really penetrated the national sports market in North America as much as, the other big sports. Gosh, they were talking about having problems competing with the WNBA there for a moment, which I think is all kind of smoke and mirrors. Anyway, enough of that. Thank you for watching. Like the video, helps me out with YouTube-y stuff or something. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.